Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video and a greasy face. Very greasy face. Just got out of the shower. And yeah, man, I just want to give everybody an update on how things are on my end. If you care about that sort of stuff, and I assume you do, because you've been following me this long. I woke up this morning feeling okay. Okay, really groggy is the word. I don't think I slept very well last night, tossing and turning. It was literally for no other reason than I was sleeping on top of the cover since it was so hot, and it was not very comfortable doing so. I'm used to sheets covering me up, so throughout the course of the night I kept on waking up trying to get comfortable. It wasn't happening. But aside from that, made myself some breakfast, all that good stuff, took a shower as I said, that kind of thing. Made, of course, the basketball video this morning telling y'all about Team USA. But I just want to first express a thankfulness to God for all that I've been blessed with over the last 2 weeks. The way things were going, I didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest with you. I thought it was a good chance that I would be living in a shelter right now, or on the street, or having to fly across the country to live with people on their couch, if they would be so kind as to let me do it, or maybe fly to Vegas, live on somebody's couch, something like that, a friend's house, something like that. And the Lord gracefully took me from one very stressful situation, leaving Lenox with the sheriffs and all that, having anticipating the sheriffs coming and all of that, into a situation where I was able to get out of there before that happened, take all the stuff that was most important to me, either put it in a storage room with my friend who happened to have a storage, praise God for that and thank him for that. And then the rest of that stuff was able to come directly to this place. It was no guarantee I would get my room. You know what I mean? We knew that this place could fill up fast, you know what I mean, that kind of thing, but we were going out on a limb. You couldn't reserve the room, you know what I mean? So I communicate with the folks on this side of town off and on throughout the course of that day, did all the different things with my U-Haul. I hadn't driven a car in over 2 years. I had developed maybe not over 2 years, probably over a year and a half. I don't know how long it had been, but I had developed somewhat of a little fear for driving, and the Lord put me in a position to strengthen that part of my mind and help me remember that I'm a solid driver and all that other stuff that I would otherwise know if I would just have been consistent in what I was doing. And I'm so thankful he got me to this apartment. I was having a hard time finding where food was to get healthy food. He worked all that out. I was able to find a Mart that's within walking distance. I was able to find a Target as well that I now I can buy food from. Both take EBT. A lot of stuff, man. And my family gave me money to not only take care of this situation, but also get involved in rideshare. And I'm telling y'all, I have struggled so much with convincing myself to actually do it. And I hate that about myself. I really hate that. And I've been praying about it a lot. Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of phobia energy. No different than that U-Haul truck energy where you're afraid to drive. It ain't about me being afraid to drive, though. I actually now remember that I like to drive. The part that I'm struggling with is getting back to the grind without any end to it, and the various different things that I also need to do while that is taking place. And it's just like days are piling up. Rent for this place is going to be due on Thursday, for which I have the money for, but that same money is also to get the rideshare done. And I told my family I would do the rideshare by now. And even though I thought it was very fortuitous that I was able to have Friday free, if I would have been doing rideshare in the way that I thought I would, I wouldn't have been able to do all the things that needed to be done, which really needed to be done. And so I know the Lord has been with me. And as I've been talking about different coincidences while I've been in this situation, my mother's birthday came around and we were able to see that whole story that I was able to really just be in awe about in regards to that young man and young lady who had the same birthday, and of course their child, both of their twins, they had twins, and those twins were born on that birthday. And that the post that showed me this was on my mother's birthday, for which there's also a massive coincidence in regards to, because my good friend Karen, her brother passed away, and his birthday is on the 1st as well. So I was able to see the post on that day. And then of course we've talked about how both of those lovely individuals are buried basically right next to each other. And my mom died in 2016, her brother died last year, so it's like a lot of stuff that just comes together to give me a coincidence that the Lord is with me. And all the different conversations we've had in this hotel has been I think some of my better work on this channel. And then the 3 playlists that I've made in this hotel have been 3 of the best playlists I've made. You know what I mean? Like literally 3 of the best I've made. And some of the art pieces I've made, I'm very proud of as well. I had somebody comment on one of my art pieces that I made yesterday that, you know, he said it was exquisite. That was the word he used. You know what I mean? And I never looked at myself as a real artist until my late 30s. And it was only because of depression that I would even start doing art. I never considered myself a talented artist. But when you put into practice and you intend to do it consistently, you're going to get better at whatever you're doing. And I tell you, the pieces that I made yesterday, I was sitting here watching football and I just heard a voice in my head say, why don't you make me some pieces? Just go ahead and make me some pieces. Go draw me something. And I got up and made the pieces that ultimately I got the praise on. And I just find myself saying I'm trusting the Lord, but there's still parts of me that's not doing things that I need to do. There's still a part of me that feels like a liar to my family, even though when I told them that I was going to do rideshare and that they were investing in me to do rideshare, I meant it and believed it. When I started looking up the rideshare prices and the various different things that were required, I started to develop a fear for driving aimlessly without earning anything and ultimately wasting time doing something I truly don't want to do, which is anything really outside of the creativity and the various different things that I do on this channel, art, playlists, etc. Those are the things that I ultimately want to do. Those are the things that the Lord is compelling me to do, but they haven't at all earned a single coin, and I need to make money in this situation, to say the least. So what I'm coming to you guys with today is a combination of fear and faith. Fear in the sense that I'm running out of money, running out of time. I'm gonna have to sell my shares to secure the money without asking for more, regardless it seems. And I'm not ready to sell any shares because my position has been diluted to such a degree that I'm basically going to be selling half of my position just to take care of 1 week's rent. And so it's one of those situations where I'm trying to hold on for dear life as an AMC ape. I'm excited about what I'm doing in regards to that, regardless how long it takes. I know I can reestablish my position, but if for some reason I sell so much and then it does squeeze, all of this that I've been doing would be for a fraction of what it is I deserve. And I think that is ultimately a fear that I hold as well. Selling out of that position and then it going up, it would crush me. And so that's one of those situations where I just look at this and I say, I haven't had any help in that regard, in regards to anybody helping me hold my shares or anybody, you know, buying a position in AMC to represent my own position if I were to sell out of it. And I just don't want that opportunity to not be in my life after holding and sacrificing so much for 3 years, going without really basic needs, letting my mind go by the wayside in regards to my car being repoed 3 times. I let it go just to hold my shares and not have to work. And so my mental health has been really struggling with being an ape in regards to what it takes to be an ape, because I don't want to work. And it's not that I don't want to work, it's that my mind will not allow me to make the decision to work. And so it's a mental health thing that I've had as a child in regards to school as well, and I've been losing that battle on this side of town in North Hollywood, despite the circumstances being so very dire. It just reinforces the truth that I'm not well and have never been well in regards to this. And I don't know that it's acceptable just the same, especially when you told people what you're going to do when you haven't done it. But the money's still there to do rideshare. It's still in my account, and I could get myself in a car today if I want to. But the concern is still going to be the same concern in regards to my head. And I'm asking the Lord to help me with that. I'm asking him to either compel me to do what it is that I need to do, just like he did when it's time to drive the U-Haul, just like he did in various different situations in my life when it was time for me to get my GED back in the past, and I told myself I would never go to school. I somehow mustered up the courage to go back to LA adult school and get my GED, and he's just compelled me to do things that align with his timing. Maybe not with what it is that I want to do, maybe not with what it is that would otherwise make me as comfortable with myself as I need to be, but he's made it so that things get done. You know, down to the fact that I had frozen waters on a hot day. Yesterday was 98 degrees, and every bit of the water that I had reserved for myself just happened to be frozen because of the fact that I needed to boil the water, as I told you guys in a previous video, and put them in the freezer and forgot to take them out. So it made it so that they were extra cold on an extra hot day. So it's like, these are the little things that the Lord is just kind of guiding me toward, you know. And listening to that voice inside telling me to be at peace in regards to what I'm doing is something that I'm trying to trust. But at the same time, I respond to that voice saying, I need to get $1 or $2. This is a world that we're in. We need to be able to pay for things. Nothing's free. And while I appreciate the ability to lean on the Lord and see him working in my life, I also need to be able to hand humans money and make the money that they're giving me, my family giving me, worth something. And the Lord, it's who I'm turning to help me with that. So for all of my faith and all of my fears, I just say I'm very much looking forward to not having these struggles anymore. Maybe something great can take place in my life so that it can put the money in my pocket that will ultimately give me the confidence to not have to worry about these things all the time, or not to have to struggle with these type of things anymore. That's really the difference. And so this morning it's a little cooler, even though it's expected to be 92. They told us it would be 90 yesterday. It turned out to be 98. So I expect to be 101 today. But at the end of the day, the Lord has given me the ability to wake up this morning praising his name with more frozen water, with the money needed to either pay for this apartment or this hotel room for the week, or getting the ride share. And I'm asking him to help me make the right decision, whatever that may be. He knows what's coming. I know what I fear. And those two things don't have to align. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I know what's coming. It just means that I have a healthy human fear for everything that everybody else would. You know what I mean? If you don't pay this, you get out. And so, as I always tell you guys, if I had all of this under control, it would have never gotten this bad. And the fact that I find myself struggling in this way just further reinforces the truth that I am trying. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm not. And so I just hope that that is acceptable to those who are trying to help me. You know what I mean? I think that it's a cruel thing to believe in yourself, and then when you get what it is that you ultimately need to do, what it is you believed in, you don't find yourself believing anymore. That's a cruel thing to have to experience, but that's exactly what it was. As soon as I got the money for the ride share, I suddenly didn't feel confident to do it anymore. And it's like that reflects poorly upon me. It makes me look like I was lying to them about their money, lying to them about what it is I was trying to do. And I wasn't. I meant every word of it. I just thought I would find something that wouldn't be $270 prorated, for which it's going to have you driving around for 2 and 3 days without making a single coin. I just don't want to do that again. I did it in 18, and it was a failure for me. There were weeks where I was driving around for like 5 and 6 hours a day just to pay off the car, only to find myself with like $50 profit, $60 profit on the week. And the pro rate was $260, which is a $10 less or $10 more rather than what it is that they're offering. No, less. I think this $270 is what they're saying with Uber. And so it's just like, man, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to be in a space where I need money, can't get money, but I'm working for it. But there are a lot of things to consider. I have to be out of here next Thursday, regardless. The contract's till the 21st. They don't allow people to re-up. Now, I don't know if you can choose a different room, maybe get a different agreement. I don't think so. What the contract said is, you got to bounce after 21 days because they got to replenish for new people. And I respect that. I haven't broken any rules in this place. I ain't bought no weed for myself. Just like even though I told myself I would go across the street and get $40 worth of weed, I never did that. Because I truly honor what it is that I have. And I'm trying to ration my funds against my very own comfort, more or less, because y'all know how much weed contributes to the betterment of my mental health. Depending on what I'm smoking, how much I'm smoking, it can really help. So it's like I've been making sacrifices to help myself, but those sacrifices aren't the type of sacrifices that are going to make me more money. They're the type of sacrifices that are going to get me more homeless. And so my conditioning versus what it is the Lord is telling me to do is what I war with. As the Lord in my head and in my heart as I pray, what came to me in regards to rideshare. To be honest with you, I prayed about it yesterday. He told me he didn't want me to do it. The voice that came to me, the same voice that told me to go do the art, told me, no, I don't want you driving. I don't actually want you to do that. And so it's like, well, I got to be honest with myself and say I never did pray about that until yesterday. I just saw it as a solution, and I saw it as a means of the only way I was going to be able to get my stuff to where it needs to go next. But once I prayed about it, that's exactly what he said. And so it's like, I'm concerned about that because what am I going to do? I took their money for rideshare. I was intent on doing rideshare. Now I don't want to do it. And when I pray about it, he's telling me not to do it. So it's like, obviously the Lord knows what's coming. Obviously he knows that what I need. And the part that I've been trying to convince myself to do as he continues to prove himself through all these coincidences of various things that are just falling in place is to trust that voice, no matter what, as I told y'all to do. But when the voice tells you to go against your word, in regards to, hey family, I'm gonna do rideshare, they give you the money, you don't do it, how could that be of God? And so this is where I struggle. The Lord knows I want to not only pay my family back what they've given me, I want to buy them a house. You know what I mean? I want to retire my uncle so he ain't got to work another day in his life for what he's been able to do for myself and my family over the years. That's what I have in my heart. Now, granted, it would take a whole lot of money to take care of all the people I love, but I'm a very good artist in multiple areas. At the end of the day, for what it is that I do, I should be able to earn that if I get successful enough to do so. It's God's honest truth. With the combination of all the different things that I naturally do, I should be a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire. And I stand on that to be the case. And so it's one of those situations where the Lord doesn't show me a path to that at all, but I'm still working. And that's what I have to remind myself as well. I was listening to 50 Cent, and he was talking about people who basically pitch a tent in life and don't want to work, and he doesn't understand the mindset. And I was looking at that, I was like, he's talking about me, because I'm the type of person that doesn't want to work. But then I started looking around, I'm like, nah, that's not true. I work hard too. I do all of the various things that I do artistically. I do this channel, it's a job. And I start thinking about the people who are excellent at various different things, and I'm like, how many of them have talent in multiple areas? How many of them who are making millions of dollars off of this or that can do this, that, and the third? I can. I've always been able to do multiple things. I've always had talent in multiple different directions, different areas. And so it's like, I don't know what the Lord wants to do with me. It doesn't seem like he really wants to bring me toward that type of success. But at the same time, it's like, for me to convince myself I'm not working is a fallacy. It's not true. When you look at the art collection that I have, and you see almost 8,000 pieces, that's work. There are a lot of artists who only do art that don't have that many pieces. You know, when you look at my channel and you see however many videos it's been, that's work. You got people who do that for a living. They don't have as much work as I do. They don't have it at the level I do. Without any script, without any producers, without anybody. All the Lakers stuff I do off top of the dome in one take, every time. So it's like the talent is ridiculous. And I need to understand that I am not who 50 Cent was describing. As a matter of fact, I do a lot of different things just like he does. You know what I mean? When it comes to this playlist, I don't know of anybody who does what I do. You know what I mean? I created a lane in playlisting. The CD art, that's a job in and of itself. Somebody probably would only do art on CDs. They wouldn't do other, you know what I'm saying? So it's like my brain allows me to do multiple things. And the lies that I tell myself is that I don't do anything at all, as I'm doing all of this right now. So it's like, look, I don't know what the Lord has in store for me, but I know he's compelled me to be extremely confident in the fact that I'm talented. And he started to help me understand that I'm not somebody that doesn't work, but I'm actually somebody that does a lot of work. I just don't have a condensed focus. I just do everything, and I do it without money in mind. I do it without really looking to exalt myself in mind. I just do it to help live the way that I know how to live. I'm doing what the body and the mind does naturally, and as a result, this is what it does. But just as it does this, it also doesn't want to work doing jobs. It also doesn't want to go and drive. It also can develop phobias, so to speak, for stuff that I've already proven I can do. Just like it's creative in good ways, it's creative in bad ones too. And so I've been psyching myself into guilt tripping myself over my body as it pertains to working out. Now that I'm in this apartment, this hotel, I haven't had access to my 30-pound weights. So every 3 hours, I'm thinking about how my definition in my arms and definition in my stomach's disappearing. It's like I guilt trip myself over stuff while doing what I need to do. You know what I mean? I'm doing the push-ups, I'm doing the squat regimen, you know, I'm doing them all, but it's like, now I will tell myself I'm not doing anything at all while it's simultaneously getting it done. So it's like, I just want the negativity, the that for which makes it so that I bite off more than I can chew in regards to what my plans are, what I'm telling people I want to do, to get out of the way and allow for God to come in and sort things out. But for the time being, all I feel is fear in regards to what hasn't been done versus what it is, the hard conversations I got to tell people about how I'm struggling with my mental health, how I'm waking up to discovering how talented I believe myself to be, and how I'm far away from anybody actually really knowing that. I'm far away from anybody actually really understanding just how much I'm willing to pour into the things that I do want to do, how much I've already poured into the things that I do want to do, and how alone I've been in the process of doing it all. and how much I admire that within myself as I come to realize it. So that's what I want people to understand. I want the confidence to know the balance between how extraordinary I can be in regards to the various different things I do, and the confidence to know that there's more work to do, so to not be confident without intent on working. And at the same time to know that the Lord has given me a purpose and that I'm on schedule. I've walked away from some of the ways that I think he would otherwise punish. I ain't done nothing that I think the Lord would be unhappy with me with in this hotel room. I've been exemplary in regards to my own standards in life. You know, I ain't even really smoked that much, huh? You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm ready for the blessings to come in. I can feel where the enemy's trying to psych me into thinking I'm not doing anything. I can see where the enemy's trying to psych me into thinking I'm 2 lifetimes away from success. I'm aware of the fact that things have to be done right away that I haven't done. And that the word half doesn't actually tell the truth, because God knows what's coming as opposed to that doubt. There are a lot of things that I'm struggling with right now, but one of them I'm not struggling with is my ability to turn on this camera and be as transparent with all of you as possible. It's a piece for me. You may see it as content. Maybe other people who do what I do may see it as a means to make money. But I promise you, that ain't what I'm doing. All I'm doing is trying to live. I'm doing what comes naturally to my brain. And unfortunately, the things that come naturally to me are not the things that I need to do to be at peace, but more so look like endless paths toward nothingness for no reason. That's what a job looked like to me. That's what driving rideshare looks like to me. A path toward only working to live and living to work. When I want, and want is a word that I need to work out, but want to do the things that ultimately I feel I'm great at, which is what you see me do here and the playlist and the various different things. So check me out on Apple Music, BDF 44. I have to plug that because at the end of the day, nobody knows what I'm doing, and I'm damn great at it. Damn great at it. I'm not just good at it, I'm one of the best in the world. And that's just one of the many things that the Lord has given me the talent and the blessing to do. I just need to find financial foundation so that I can do what comes naturally to me, so that I can share for as long as I'm alive. And if the Lord allows me to create for the rest of my life, that will fulfill me. That will fulfill me. I don't want to do nothing else but what I already do. And I don't want to drive rideshare because I'm not wired to drive rideshare. I'm wired to do one-take Laker videos without any blemishes. I'm wired to do playlists. I'm wired to do art projects. I'm wired to do poetry as well. I didn't even tell y'all how good I am at poetry. You ain't even heard none of my poetry. I got stuff that I wrote 20 years ago that is good enough to be told or shared today. Works in the past from my creativity of when I wasn't even conscious of that being creativity. I was just doing whatever. Stuff is good. So it's like the Lord gave me multiple talents, man. Multiple talents. Just like he did very few people on this earth. And unfortunately, I don't know how to even get out of my own way to just get that foundation going. And I'm praying about it and I'm failing. It seems I'm failing. Just get myself a simple job because I know it's going to pull me away from what it is that comes naturally to me, which I know can contribute to the earth much more than me just making $15 an hour lifting boxes and stuff like that. Those jobs need to go to people who don't have the gifts I have. Those things need to go to people who don't have the talent, so that they can feed their people who have children and families. Not me. I'm a creative, out of place. That's all it is. So I just want people to understand that I can do what most cannot, but I can't seem to do what most can just the same. And it drives my brain insane. But I believe in God, and as I continue to get better at things that I do, I'm learning to believe in myself. I just need some help. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.